I'm a chain smoker. I smoke all the time. I never stop. I love to smoke. I'm like a chimney. And I'm proud of it. Anywho, I left off my last video. Well, Greenwich. I had to Greenwich. Where all that happened to me. I have PTSD. I could describe the 10 minutes or so, or 15 minutes or so of what happened to me exactly, specifically, but I don't want to. It takes me back to a place I don't want to go, and I don't have to do that. You can read about it, though. If you go to Margolies, no, go to put this in your browser, your Google, whatever. Google this. Greenwich, Connecticut. Greenwich Magazine. Matthew. The name Matthew. M-A-T-A. I'm not sure. M-A-T-T. You know better than I do. I was never good at English. Not much. Matthew, two T's, whatever. H-E-U-W. Margolies. M-A-R-G-O-L-I-E-S. M-A-R-G-O-L-I-E-S. Pump that in your browser and read all about it. Bridgetown, USA, it's the home of the Moxie murder. Furman, remember him, coming into Greenwich, having to solve that like 30 years later. Well, it's been 30 years since this murder now. This murder happened in 1984, September. I know more about it than most people do, because what happened to me happened early in the summer. The number one suspect in the murder of Matthew Margolies was the number one suspect at the moment. And the only reason they raided Wendy's in Greenwich, went and got him. And from all the doors, I mean, they just raced up there and just grabbed him immediately. The reason they did that was because of what happened to me. I took this guy to court. Alright? He got attempted manslaughter for it. I'm doing these videos to protect myself. I have a feeling that I'm still, in some way or shape or form, connected to something that I don't want to be connected to. I'm not a friend of this sort of maybe group or small group of people. Small, very small group. Very small and tight-knit group of people. Anyway. So the public will know that this did happen, and it'll get to someone who eventually can fix it or make it right. It's now in the FBI's hands. Finally, 30 years later, I guess they finally decided. Greenwich Police did, or Greenwich detectives finally decided to put this into the FBI hands. But I read both the reports side by side with each other with a detective, which I'm not going to mention his name. Back in the day, they brought me in when I was like 16. If I can give them any tips, anything that I thought of, that I didn't think of that day. And there was plenty of things I thought of that didn't go in my report. But I sat side by side with both reports where the detective was holding both of them side by side when I was 16 years old, and I got a chance to read both of them. What I remember from both of them, I can't say, and when I talked to about with that detective, I'm not going to talk about myself. But Mrs. Margolies, I might be your only link. If you're out there and you watch this, I'm going to be your only link to your son and what happened to him. I already know what happened to him. And that detective that day, where the reports were side by side, he had no question as to who did what to whom the day Matthew Margolies died. And neither did I. No question in our minds. He's gone. He's retired. I guarantee you there are a few detectives up in there still to this day. I know a couple of them one of them just recently retired. And he put me in connection with the younger one who's there now, who will always know me. We met in Stamford, not in Greenwich, at a coffee shop. Not what you would think. Not what you would probably think of. Just got coffee somewhere. Sat down, had coffee. 2 detectives, myself, and my girlfriend at the time. And what was said between us, well, I'll keep it that way. Between us. Anywho. Next